Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Power Time Practice here on the 14th of July, 2018. My name is Sucharita, and welcome to everyone who is joining for the first time, and those of you Power Timers who have been participating every week since we started to roll this program out over the months and years. We have a great week ahead, and that's what we're doing here in Power Time Practice, is to tap into the energy or the Shakti, the power behind time. Because as we know, if we are not having a good time, usually time is going by slowly, it's painful. Oh my God, is this ever going to end? If it's going by fast, even if the hands are ticking on the clock and the clock is ticking by and the time seems to go so fast, it's usually when we're having fun and we want to stop the clock. We want to freeze time. So it's interesting how the psychology of the human race taps into the energy of time. And that's something that we can do some mental gymnastics about, or we can over analyze it or get into the too much in intellect. Instead, what we do here in Power Time is that we experience that. We have an experience of what is that energy behind time. And it's based on the archetypes. So that consciousness that is behind closed doors, so to speak, or it's our blind spot. We don't know exactly what it is until we tap into it. So being with Dr. Pillai, he gives us great teachings, meditations, programs, services that we can access these divine archetypes, who are none other than our highest selves, the collective consciousness that is hidden. So it's we're unconscious to it. It's underneath our consciousness or behind our consciousness. But when we open the door, that's why we work on the third eye, opening that part of us that is dormant. And then once it opens through meditations, through rituals, remedies, through all of our practices on being kind, compassionate, caring, understanding, patient, persistent, and all the rest, right? All those fabulous virtues that we can practice maybe like this much every day. Hopefully it's this much, it's huge. So that's what we can aspire to, or be inspired by others who are trailblazing. And here it is, as a human being, everything is perfect and everything is imperfect. And everything is past, everything is present, everything is future. So how do we tap into the energy of time such that we won't repeat our experience as time moves on? Or we won't bring up what has already moved on, what we've already moved on from. So our experiences of the past, how do we get out of the worry and concerns about the future? So we tap into these energies behind time to help us to experience that eternal moment where everything is beautiful. We're in hang time. We are in the gap, as they say. And then what can happen? Anything goes. And then we can just surrender ourselves to that eternal moment, that gap, that kind of state of consciousness where we're just waking up and we're kind of in a lucid state, or we're just falling asleep. And it's a very relaxed state. We know that things are going on in our body, in our mind, and in our surroundings, but we're in that kind of limbo, that hang time where we can just float. So hopefully today during the meditation, if you're going to stay for that, it'll be coming up shortly, or maybe not. It'll be coming though. We never know, because we have a lot to talk about to set up ourselves for the week ahead, so that we will look at how we are using our time. Are we using it wisely, or are we using it unconsciously? Meaning that something is taking over us and we don't know where we're going, what we're doing. but we're just experiencing all these emotions that are getting in the way of us being clear and then decisive and then taking action in a direction that is going to be more fulfilling and more rewarding. Had we not had those fabulous moments brought to you by, what the heck am I feeling this way for? So if you have your calendar, this is what we refer to all the time. It's called the Astral Bed Calendar, and you can look for that on astralbed.com or applycenter.com and order yourself one. Get one. So we're looking at the second moon still going on today. It's a Saturday. So Saturn is this planet that makes things to seemingly be delayed or for us to go slowly. And why would we want that to happen? Well, just look at the work week. We work pretty much Monday to Friday. Most people do. Or we go to school, the kids go to school, we go to school. We do something during those Monday to Friday days, weekdays. And then on Saturday, what do we want to do? We want to slow it right down. We want the weekend to be something that we can savor for those 48 precious hours, that we can just relax and rest. And what? We don't do that. We just hit the ground running and we just get caught up in everything. So then Saturn keeps us distracted from what it is that we truly want to do, which is to stay organized so that we can do whatever it is that we need to do on the weekend without delay, without being distracted. We get our work done. And then on Sunday, we can enjoy ourselves. Because the sun, like the sun is, it's bright, it's shiny. When it's out, it's so much more enjoyable. We kind of want to look on the bright side of the week ahead, and we enjoy Sunday. So Saturday is all about going inside, getting that energy unlocked from within so that we have the energy to do the work that we need to do, all those running errands and cleaning the house or cleaning the car or running the kids off to their different practices or going and visiting the elderly, everything that we have to do, grocery shopping, whatever it is that we need to do on a Saturday it takes a lot because we're exhausted. We've been working all week. And then we have to, do all the stuff that we need to do at home. Aside from work. So we have this precious 24 hours of Saturn who gives us that ability, who gives us that discipline, that persistence, the patience, the compassion for ourselves and for others. So when we're focusing on the qualities or characteristics of Saturn and we honor Saturn, he wants us to get on our spiritual path. He wants us to tap into our internal and eternal reservoir of energy so that we can hit the ground running. And then Saturday, we will use our time and energy wisely. We won't be distracted going here, going there, gossiping, getting distracted by phone calls that go on forever. And we are like, oh my God, I got to get to, the bank. I got to get to the store. I got to take the kids. I got to pick up the kids, So Saturn is a great energy to tap into, to get the blessings from, and then you can honor those qualities inside of you: patience, persistence, focus, discipline, and so on. And then you'll see that in other people as well. So, and then the Sunday is all about tapping into the energy of the sun. Of course, the sun transits a new zodiac every month. So every 30 days, the sun is impacting our soul because the sun represents our soul. Our soul is something that's really bright and shiny inside of us, but we don't see it because sometimes it's behind a bunch of clouds of the past. Clouds of confusion, clouds of anger, clouds of frustration, clouds of, what are those clouds? So we're always trying to look for the silver lining, and that's what it is. The sun is always shining, behind the clouds. However, like the sun, our soul needs to have a lot of soul food so that it can pierce through those clouds and shine brightly when the weather is good for us, so to speak. So we're looking at a fourth moon, which is all about Lord Ganesha. Ganesha is this elephant-headed being. He has a pot belly and he rides mouse. And he is this archetype whose energy resides at the base of the spine, the Muladhara Chakra, this psycho-spiritual center. So if you're on the spiritual path, it's because there's something going on with your psychology that says, there's something more to life. And perhaps some of you have been on the path for a long, long time, and you've been practicing different teachings, you've been exploring different paths, and here you are with Dr. Pillai, or perhaps this is your first time being with Dr. Pillai's teachings, and welcome. So there's a psychology that brought you here. There's some thinking, there's some feeling inside of you that said there's more to life than what it is that I'm doing. I need to get more energy out of life. So how do I do that? On the spiritual path, we want to be inspired. We want to bring or experience the expression of our spiritual self, our highest self, our soul self that shines like the sun. It has the brilliance of the sun. So tapping into the energy of the sun on Sunday and a fourth moon with Lord Ganesha, who resides at the base of the spine, this root chakra, this Muladhara, the root of who we are truly. So who we are truly is the spiritual being that wants to get awakened. We want to unlock the secrets of all of our psycho-spiritual centers. And then when we tap into the energy or unlock the secrets of these chakras, these psycho-spiritual centers that are aligned with our spine, so these kind of wheels or keys to our highest selves, they get spun as we unlock them, starting with Ganesha's grace and blessings, and all the energy comes up to the brain. And then in the brain, there's even another little secret component called the third eye. So it's the spot between your two eyebrows, and it opens up like a lotus, a 1,000-petaled lotus. And it is just there, sitting about here, and then it opens and opens and opens, such that we almost split ourselves in half as the third eye opens. So some people say, oh, my third eye is open, and they're just focusing on this. That can be true, but it's your whole being wants to crack open, and then the divine energy is just flooding in all the time, and it's spilling over. So your cup hath runneth over, as they say, something like that anyways. And so the fourth moon is all about Ganesha. The star, Mogga star, is a great star on Sunday to have the grace and blessings of the ancestors. So Mogga is this star energy that sits on this throne of the ancestors. So we all have ancestors who have maybe messed up in their lifetime, and then they didn't get on the spiritual path, and they're coming to bug us, the people who are on the spiritual path, to get our attention, so we will feed them or honor them. And we've talked about Tarpanam in other calls and in other programs. There's a lot of services that are offered through Pillai Center and Astral Bed to honor the ancestors. One is a year-long program, so maybe you might want to look into that. It's Tarpanam, year-long program to honor the ancestors. It's so important to do from this point onward until you die, or until you do something else after that. I'm not really sure. It's everybody's soul's evolution. It all depends on what you want to do, but there is a possibility that we could all evolve to be angels. Oh my goodness. What would that look like? Pretty much heaven on earth. Anyways, it's the golden age, so why don't we work towards that? If you want. So we've got, let's backtrack. Today we've got the third, or coming into the third moon, but still we're in the second moon, and we are in Ashlesha star. Ashlesha star is the star that is like a snake. It will uncoil, and then it will come and just be very still, like a cobra. So if you see these depictions of these cobras with the 5 heads, don't freak out. They represent the senses, the 5 senses. So when we can get our 5 senses under control, then we are really staying in alignment with this Kundalini energy. So Ashlesha helps to wake that up, and then also to keep everything still. Be still and know that I am God, or you're with God, for those of you who have different viewpoints on how that all rolls out in your life. So the snake, the 5-headed snake, or the 5-hooded snake, it has this quality that will help to still our eyes. When we still our eyes, we're not darting here and there. Our head isn't moving here and there like shiny things, shiny things. So we're not being distracted. We're not wasting any energy. We're not wasting any time. It's not that you're going to be stiff and not look, you're going to just look here and have blinders on. It means that when you're going into anything, you're going to just be looking at it very clearly, and you're going to pause. And then you're going to look at, like a gaze, as a snake would. They just gaze. And you're not really sure what they're going to do. And usually it's our fear that makes them to respond. So if you're just gazing and you're taking your energy back into your midbrain, so you're taking the energy from your eyes and you're moving it back into the midbrain, and you're hanging in the midbrain, what you're doing is you're aligning with that energy that's coming up the spine and spinning all the chakras. So then you can hear clearly. So even now, as you've been focusing on your Muladhara, the root chakra, just taking a little look at it and imagining this elephant-headed being with a pot belly, and he rides a mouse. It kind of distracts you from looking too deeply into it or trying to figure it all out. It's like, oh, I'm never going to figure that archetype out, so I'll just enjoy and see where it takes me. So you just can imagine this reddish orangish light pouring down your legs, and then now as it pours down your legs, it kind of roots you into the ground. And then this energy will get focused, and it will light up a tube of light or a ray of light that's piercing all your chakras, and it's coming up. So this ray of light, or lightning bolt, is coming up the spine. And then around it is this kind of like snake energy. Just like in the medical symbol, it has the 2 snakes. And they are moving up to let us know that that is the energy that we need to tap into in order for us to have good health. So there's lots you can read about that. But for now, because Ashlesha's energy is present, this star energy that we're going to immerse ourselves in, it's going to make our meditation to be very deep. We will connect with our highest self, our God self, because we will feel this kind of movement, this dancing energy going up, and then activating the chakras and activating the third eye much more readily and easily than maybe we have in the past. It can also bring up some tender feelings, some tender issues, memories of the past. But with the snake, it will help us to still the mind and just stare at it and let it float by like a cloud in the sky. So just let those emotions, let those charged thoughts, because that's what emotions are. They're charged thoughts, and they're part of our unconscious mind or our conscious mind, and we can't get rid of it. So this energy will help to just bring it up. And then you can just allow yourself to see it. So you're staring at it, but you're bringing your energy more into the third eye that has this ability to open up, and kind of like once this tremendous light comes, this internal fire, because that's what we always relate to the Kundalini at some point or another on our spiritual path is there's a fire quality to it. It's a heat, or it can be cool as well. But it's kind of like a tingling. It's your spidey senses. Something is going on inside of you, and that's moving and making you to feel different energies, and different thoughts are coming up. So allow that to happen every day. So many moments can go by without us tapping into this incredible resource that we have, this energy that is like this sneaky quality that it can start to move and dance and twirl around these chakras and look at them and say, how can I open these chakras? It's going to do it for you. So when we are on this path with Dr. Pillai, there are so many things that we can discover at Pillai Center Academy or through Astral Bed or Pillai Center about our own evolution and what the Kundalini energy is doing inside of us at any given point in time, by what it is that we're attracted to. So we'll be attracted to different courses, different services, different teachings that will awaken that Kundalini energy. And Dr. Pillai had a call last week, or he did a video last week, and perhaps someone can post it here on the chat, or we can post it later in the blog and in the email that goes out every week, that he talked about this getting prepared for Guru Poornima. Guru Poornima. Poornima means moon, the full moon. And so we are born with this fullness. And this fullness is Om. So Om is really home. And how do we get Om or home inside of us? Because our home changes. Home is where the heart is. Home is where we find ourselves if we have to relocate. It's not always necessarily where we grew up or where we were born or raised. We're living in a world where it's so easy to just jump on a plane and be on the other side of the world, and that would be our home. So our home, the best real estate that we have, our home, is that which is inside. And it unlocks the secrets of who we truly are. And then that is our guiding force, or our guiding familiar family-like being. Because in the old days, we used to be surrounded by our family, our friends, or our close relatives that lived nearby. And maybe some people still live that. God bless you all. And you have that support with you there all the time. But most people nowadays, they don't have that support. And so they have to create some sort of family outside of themselves. And now with the internet, you don't even go anywhere. You're on the internet, you can create a family, just like we have here, a family of power timers, and who care and love one another. And then we help to support one another. So we'll have an open discussion after the meditation where we can take some questions and share experiences. So in case you want to jump off, you can watch or listen to the recording that will be posted to the YouTube and also to the blog on Pillai Center at some point in the coming couple of days. So it's good if you can stay, although you got to do what you got to do. So that's just what we're going to do here, is enjoy our community, enjoy the support from one another, and enjoy sharing in whatever the message is of today. So I trust that whatever is coming through is going to be what is going to be very useful for people to navigate in the week ahead and to make sense of what they're doing on their spiritual path, because it's so important. If money goes, if health goes, if your job goes, if your spouse goes, if your children go, if your friends go, if you go, what's going to happen? Your whole life is going to change, but wherever you go, there you are. And that's the energy of you, the true you, is always going to be your guiding force. It's always going to be your best friend, your BFF, right? Forever and ever. So we want to get the blessings of Dr. Pillai to open up or help the Kundalini energy to really move through us. Now, what's supporting us these past few days, and also in a few more days, so the 9 nights of a goddess called Varahi, who is a boar-headed being. She has, this is a little picture of, or a little depiction of her. It is, she's got a little snout, you can see from the side view. So she's got this boar head, and she's got some weapons to destroy negative forces. She is a fierce form of the goddess Lakshmi, and that in the background is about a 12 by 12 inch yantra. So that is giving you tremendous blessings. A yantra is a machine. It is a geometrical depiction of this goddess. Just like we have different aspects to our being, who we are, we have a physical form, we have physiology that's part of that, we have anatomy, we have a spiritual aspect, we have a psychological aspect, we have an intellectual aspect of ourselves, and so on. The subtle body, and then the collective unconscious comes in. Our ancestors share our genes. So we are multi-dimensional. So we are multi-dimensional beings. So it makes sense that these archetypes have multi-dimensional qualities. So we can play with that energy, either of a statue or of a yantra. And that is like a landing pad for this goddess energy of the 9 nights that have started since the first moon after the new moon, which was a couple of days ago. Again, we're in about the 3rd moon going into the 4th moon, depending on where you are in the world. So we're gonna have another 5 days or so, 6 days or nights, where we can access this energy. What does it mean? Well, we're gonna do a little practice today where we will feel her energy. We'll have some experience of it. And then we will be able to tap in and honor this energy that has this boar head, and it goes into our aura and it bores out. So that psycho spiritual presence that is surrounding us like a halo, a body halo. And then it's also inside of us. There's an internal aura, and then there's an external aura. And then this goddess will come in and root out dark forces, such as people who are jealous of us or who are envious of us. There is no remedy for that. We can't go up to a person and say, why are you jealous of me? Why are you envious of me? Oh my God, you will just start World War III, right? It will just be like, what? I'm not, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, there's no cure for it. You have to just be aware of it, praying. But until that goes out of the other person, then that's your karma. The karma meaning that whoever you come into contact with and they have those feelings, it's kind of like a rainy day. You just take your umbrella. Right? So our umbrella can be our aura. We want to keep it very strong so it's not porous and then the rain comes through, or whatever is being hurled at us, subconsciously or consciously. And some people aren't even aware that they're feeling that way, but we know what people feel like. We don't know exactly what they're thinking, but that energy is there, such as someone who is angry. And they're so angry and they come into a space, they walk into a room and everybody feels it, right? And then they don't even have to say anything. No one even has to see it, but they feel it. And then they look and they hear whatever is they look at the person and they're, maybe red, or they're, frustrated. Their face shows anger. They're gritting their teeth. They're complaining, and so on. And it's not enjoyable. So that energy gets put on us, so we kind of immerse ourselves in it, not as a victim, but we've got to be there for some time. So when we get the blessings from this goddess whose energy is readily available during these 9 nights, we can swim around and have her clean our aura. internally and also externally. So she has this bore head where she will just go and bore out of our auras, that which is no longer serving us. It's kind of like we've been shot with a lot of bullets and she's going to take out the pellets so that we can not have those holes inside of us. And then her energy also is the goddess Lakshmi energy. She's a fierce form of the goddess Lakshmi. Her consort is Varaha, and he is a fierce form of the Lord Vishnu. So Lakshmi and Vishnu are those archetypes who want us to experience heaven on earth. They want us to have all the comforts in life. They want us to feel joy and happiness, even if we are being bombarded by negative thoughts. So as we build our consciousness, we build our auras internally, and then we build that aura around us, then we will be impenetrable. So we need the support and the blessings from this goddess, and especially once a year. At this particular year, Dr. Pillai has decided that 9 nights of this goddess are most needed, for not only for the individuals who come to get this teaching, but for the whole world. So Dr. Pillai's services that are offered through Pillai Center and Astral Bed are not only for the individuals who sponsor them. Collectively, we are creating this opportunity for all the sponsors to feel good about opening up the vortex or this consciousness of this divine being to come into the earth plane and bore out all negative forces that don't belong here anymore. So this little 1-inch archetype, or the 12-inch 12 by 12 yantra that represent Varahi, these are just little landing pads for an individual like myself or yourself to have in our home or in our hand, and activate our chakras in our hands. And then we feel this energy all around us. So it's the turn on switch. It's the key that unlocks the secrets to allow this goddess to come in and do all the cleaning. So we will honor this goddess for the next 9 nights. You can check it out on Astral Bed or Pillai Center and see if participating in that will be something that you want to do. Just reading about her will give you that knowledge. Some awareness will wake up inside of you and go, oh, wow, I feel her energy. And then you can go on. There's so many free YouTubes and articles that you can read on Pillai Center or Astral Bed, and then also watch on the YouTube that Dr. Pillai has put out, some of the teachers have put out over the years. So we want to honor this goddess, and then in the week ahead, there's some power times as well. So after the 4th moon, we always have a 6th moon, and that is honoring Lord Muruga. Many of us have been getting used to him. His energy, he helps to open the 3rd eye. So why wouldn't we want to pray to him? He helps to get rid of disease, enemies, debts, litigation, any karmas that are so challenging for us or our loved ones to overcome. He will just open the 3rd eye. And as Dr. Pillai shares, when the 3rd eye is open, miracles can happen. Miracle healings can happen. Healing of the body, healing of the finances, healing of relationships, healing of your own relationship with your own self, all the self-talk that we have. I'm not good enough, or I don't have whatever I don't have. And then that turns into kind of like an envy or jealousy of all those who do have, because you're comparing. How do you know you don't have it? Because you're relating to someone else who does. So even subconsciously, we were putting that out. So Goddess Varahi will help. She will work with Lord Muruga to make that be very clear about what it is that's going on inside of us, and then just get rid of it. You know, zap it with the magic wand we call the veil, which is a spear-like object, and it is represented like this. And so it has a stem here. It's got some little lime juice because I just stuck it into a lime here. where once you put it into the lime or the lemon, like we've done in so many of these calls, where you can feel that this is the lime or the lemon is a surrogate for the negative energy to go into. And then when this veil goes in there, it pierces all the negativity. So, and then you can just leave it on your desk like I have here. And so we can call on Lord Muruga to help to clear out the chakras. The stem of that veil is our backbone, and then all the chakras are going to spin properly or get cleared, pierced by this tremendous light intelligence of the veil. And then the part of the midbrain that has the doorway to the third eye, the opening of the third eye, is the head of the veil. The shaft is the backbone, the head of the veil is the brain, and then into the midbrain, you can imagine the tremendous amount of light and intelligence that is harnessed in this spear-like object, and imagining it as your backbone and brain, and you're just shining. You know, people will be like wanting to be around you because you will have this protective energy, this quality. Just like a policeman would be in their uniform, or someone who's in the military. They'll be in their uniform and you'll feel this presence, even though they could be giggling inside. That's what they have come here to do, is to be represented with this uniform to make sure that they are depicting protection. So we can have the veil of Lord Muruga inside of us, and people won't see it. That's the secret, right? Only you will know. And then they will feel this protective energy around them. Or if they are harming you, it will just bounce off, because you won't want to be around that weapon that is so bright and shiny. It will just scare you away if you're not going to be supporting the person. So that's what it is for this week ahead. We have an 8th moon for the goddess, is on the waxing cycle, is all about protection. So you're going to feel a lot of protection. You're going to feel a lot of motherly love and being surrounded by this Kundalini energy, starting with today, with the Ashlesha star that is supporting it. And this awakening to a new level of being. And then, as last night we had in the Srimurti immersion call, someone was saying, you know, Dr. Pillai shared about us stopping lying to ourselves. So he's saying, stop lying to yourself. You don't even know that we're lying to ourselves. What does that mean? Oh my God, that's kind of scary. It means that we don't know what our truth is because it's hidden by the untruth. And the untruth is everything that is happening all around us and inside of us. And at any given moment, if we can just harness that attention on our backbone, on our brain, on our midbrain, then we will be in truth for eternal. It will be eternal truth. You'll be tapping into eternity, and you won't have to go anywhere or do anything. You'll be acting in the life. You will be a mom or a dad or a brother or sister or a coworker or whatever it is that you're being in life. And you will play out your karma, which is to do your work in the world, to bring God's gifts that you have that might be hidden from you, or you know that they are there and you can't express them. Then this 9 nights, with the blessings of Ganesha, with the blessings of Lord Muruga, and the power and energy of the goddess towards the end of the 9 nights on the 8th moon, on the waxing cycle, you will root out any despair, any low vibrating energy, any energy that is causing you to listen to bad advice, both internally and also around you, or indecision or confusion, or being despondent. Despondency is actually the worst because you're not really even sure why you aren't motivated to do anything. You're just, it doesn't matter, whatever. You know, it will make you to go away from your treasure. You will just look at it and go, okay, anyway, I don't know how to unlock it. That seems too complicated. So the human mind is going to always be limited. It's always going to say no. Everyone around us is going to say no, whether they say that to our face or inside, right? We might say, hey, I'm going to start this business and I'm going to travel here, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to have a baby, or I'm going to, you know, and they're going to be like, oh, that's great. And they're going to walk away and go, no way, right? So we can't control what other people think. So we want to always be trusting in our own highest selves, the goddess within, that Kundalini energy within, and have it rock our chakras all the time. So we're going to start with Ganesha. We're going to honor Dr. Pillai, bring his energy in, and then ask that we go home. We want to be home. So we're going to be oming during this meditation. And then we're also going to be bringing in the energy of the goddesses, the energy of Lord Muruga. We're not really sure what's going to happen during the meditation. We're just going to tap in. We're going to log on. We're going to tune in. We're going to open up ourselves to this meditation process. So it's a stream of consciousness we're going to dive into. If stuff comes up for you as we're going merrily down the stream or up the stream, it will, if our emotions are coming up, it's good, because it's not true. We shouldn't hold on to that. We don't have to. It's happened in the past. So whatever has been disturbing us might come up, and just to be resolved, washed away. So imagine yourself swimming in this stream of consciousness of the goddess from inside and also all around us. And then your go-to is going to be knowing that Dr. Pillai is guiding your soul. He's guiding your spiritual path, you on your spiritual path. That is which is inside of you. So as you hear the guided meditation or the process that we're going to go through, you just grab on to those words, grab on to the goddess, the being, or the God, the being, that highest self that is you. And collectively, we will create a beautiful, safe space. Some people might be totally overjoyed, giddy, a lot of energy coming in, heat, tingly. Maybe you'll feel nothing, but you'll just be in hang time. Awesome. Just be floating in nothing. Can you imagine what that would feel like, just to be floating? There are no thoughts. You're just like, wow, this is so cool. So we might have moments like that. So wherever you are, you might be going through a turbulent part of your process that you're taking your soul's journey on, or the soul is taking you on a journey. Surrender to your highest self. Let it go. Let God, let Goddess. And then know that as we come out of it, you're going to be a whole new person. And you will feel supported, even if there are tears, even if there is sadness, because this is what the 9 nights are all about. It's to root it all out, to show you that's not your truth, that you don't lie to yourself anymore. You don't have to carry that. You don't have to have that. So it's more important for you to experience joy, spill over with that, enjoy these moments that you have that are so gracious. We're so grateful for, and the God is so gracious, or the goddess is so gracious. You are so gracious to your own self for bringing you here on a Saturday morning. Did I mention about the sun? Let me just look at it. So the sun is entering Cancer. Oh, perfect timing. So the sun was in a very busy sign. It was in a mental sign, so more mental activity, more thinking. Guess what the sun is going to do as it's in Cancer? It's going to be all about the emotions, all about our desires, our our wishes, our unfulfilled promises that we made to ourselves when we came to this lifetime. We started out this lifetime, this little soul that is growing and growing and growing, encased in this being now that has changed so much since a baby. Look what it is now, and we don't know what it's going to evolve to next, but we kind of have an idea. So we are going to experience our true emotions, and that's great, because if we can be authentic with our emotional self, that is part of our unconscious, our subconscious. So it's getting acknowledged. The sun is shining, the soul is shining on that part of our life that needs to have a healing balm or salve or a big hug. So you might feel the goddess going in and rooting out in our hearts and in our whole being. Maybe their pain gets released from a body part, and we're just so grateful that it's finally leaving. Or our heart, someone was expressing last night during the Shrimberzi Immersion Fire Lab that their heart had some knots unlocked or unknotted or undone. And that is only through the grace and the blessings of your highest self, your God self, your guru self. Guru means to dispel the darkness. So Guru Poornima is coming up. Dr. Pillai is the guru, the master that you've decided to come and study or learn from this point onward, or perhaps you're going to just tap in and that will be fine and off you go. That's what a true master does. He doesn't want anyone following him. He just wants you to follow yourself. He wants you to tap into that reservoir, that God consciousness that you cannot do on your own. So you might feel that awakening inside of you as we call on him today. And in the coming couple of weeks, preparing for this full moon where you're just going to be full of abundance, full of blessings, and full of Om. The home is where you are. So with that, we'll get into a state of receptivity where we are shutting our phone off or closing the doors. If you are having to do whatever it is that you're doing, some people have to get the kids up and get going, or you've got to move on and be in your car driving. You can just be with your eyes open, but go internally, go more. Take your attention into the third eye and feel the God or the goddess coming through your chakra system, that psycho-spiritual system that is aligned with your internal self, along the base of the spine, in the navel, in the heart, in the throat, in the third eye, the middle of your brain, and then in the crown chakra. So those are the main chakras. And then we have so many others, but we won't get into that. Just focus, concentrate on staying steady. And don't be distracted. You can do whatever it is that you're doing, but do it with God consciousness pouring through, and miracles will happen. Things will happen so smoothly. So whether you're going to go into a deep meditative state, or whether you're going to be in a walking meditation or driving meditation, be careful. Always be alert and be aware, but know that you are going to get the blessings, even if you are having to keep your eyes open. So be prepared, feel it. All right, so closing your eyes, you can be sitting straight as you can in a relaxed position, and just feel your backbone getting into alignment with the middle of your brain. So you can just rock a little bit back and forth or side to side or around, and just feel that sweet spot. If you don't feel that sweet spot, you'll feel it eventually. but you just start with it. Feeling comfortable. And then if you want to lie down, or if you start by sitting up and you want to lie down, you're just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. It means there's a lot of goddess energy coming in. You're tapping in and you're just going to float. Just float. Let it go. And then you can be sleeping. Some people might fall asleep. Perfect. As Dr. Pillai shared, the goddess will do the work even when you're sleeping, because your spiritual self never sleeps, even when you do. So your body, your mind, your soul knows what it needs to do. It's all good.